today's session, we're going ahead with one more topic, and this topic also is going to be useful. And again, I'm telling you, unless and until you don't practice what's been taught on these classes are going to be just 90 minutes of internet usage by you and me, right? So you have to use whatever has been told, practice it in your life. Okay, fine. So before we start, right? I think there were three people whom the prizes has to be sent. I think Sharon, there are another two people. So for the first class, what we did, so I think your gifts should be on the way. You should be getting it soon, right? Okay. So are you ready for today's session? Ready for
Yes, sir.
today's session? Yes. Will you listen carefully?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. Let's start. So can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. What does it say?
Understanding
Understanding self.
Understanding self. Okay.
ability.
Ability. Okay. Beautiful. Okay. Now, can anyone tell me what is ability?
Our capacity, sir.
Capacity. Capacity is ability.
Our power to do a particular thing.
A power to do anything is ability. Right. Very good. Okay. If I ask you a question, are you able to read the words on the screen? Are you able to read the words on the screen? Now, what I'm questioning you, are you able to read? When I'm asking you, are you able? What does it mean?
Our ability.
Ability only. So when I say, are you able? Are you able? What is it? Are you
If I
able
can
to? Are you able
understand.
to understand? Okay, understand. Very good, Jimmy. Are you able to hear my voice? When I say, are you able to hear my voice? What do you mean by are you able?
Something which a person can do.
Okay, something that the person can do. All right. So today what we are going to learn is all of us who are in this program today, we have abilities, right? Now, what is ability? We'll learn it. All of us have ability. Now, today's session is all about understanding your ability and how to use this ability to develop yourself, right? So understanding yourself, understanding your ability, and using that ability, what all you can do in your life. And of course, when you understand yourself, this is one of the characteristics of a leader, right? So we are talking, this entire sessions is based on leadership. So a leader should understand himself first. So today, one aspect of understanding what we're going to deal is understanding your abilities, right? So that's the topic for today, right? So what is ability? Ability is a mental or physical power or skill that makes it possible to do something, right? So this is the you know a noun form of ability. This is the meaning of ability, right? If you Google, this is what the meaning of ability is, right? So as Evan rightly brought out, he said it's a power, right? Are you able to read what's on the screen? When I'm asking you, are you able to read? I'm asking you, are you equipped, right? Are you equipped, right? Do you have that skill to understand what is on the screen? Do you have the skill, the listening skill to hear what I'm saying? That's what I mean by ability. I think Victoria, you need to put yourself on mute. Okay. So what is ability? Ability is the mental or physical power or skill that makes it possible to do something. So in simple words, if you have to understand what is ability, it's nothing but action, right? Are you able? Action. Can you do that action? Right? Are you active? Right? That is the question. Are you able to hear my voice? Are you active to listen to my voice? That's a question, right? So what is ability? Understand this. Ability is the skill or power, if it can be mental or physical, that makes it possible to do something. If you have to do anything, you need to have that ability. You need to have that skill or power. Now, ability is of two types, right? One is of natural interest. The other one is excelling by practice. So what is natural interest? It's by birth, right? Now, for few people, right, by birth, they can't hear, they can't talk. Have you seen these sort of people, right? You have come across these sort of people. They cannot see. Few people will be by birth itself, they'll not be able to see. Now we call them disabled, right? Now, ability at few times, it's by natural process. Naturally, you'll have that ability, right? Naturally, few people can speak well. Naturally, few people can see. Naturally, few people can run by birth itself. It comes, along with them. It's not a special thing that you've got, but it's by natural interest. The second type of ability is you learn it from outside. It's not naturally born, but you excel it by practice. You pick this up. For example, playing guitar, right? Few people play guitar by learning or going to a music class, right? Naturally you can't know the chords. Naturally you cannot know the chords, or you can't play the lead, whatever it is. You go to class and you learn to play guitar. Painting, right? Few people go to painting classes, you learn karate, right? Your martial arts. All this ability, right, is obtained by practicing it, learning it. So, right, now we understand this, what is ability. And we know ability can be of two ways, right? One is by natural way, one is by birth, and the other one is by practice. Another one is external, you inherit it, right? You start practicing and then you get it. So since we understood two types of process of ability, today what we're going to find out is what are the different types of ability that a human being can possess. Now, why this is very important for all the kids here is because we need to understand your ability to know where you can land up after 20 years of your age. At 2021, you can plan, right now itself. Once you start moving, you cross your 10th standard, 12th standard, and you start your 3 years of graduation, right? You know where you want to land. Once you know your ability, right? See, this 20 years, 21 years is what you plan for your education. It goes by without saying. But after 20 years till, you know, 60 years or 65 years, that is easily 40 years of your life. Next 40 years of your life after education completely depends on what action you take in this 20 years, right? That's the reason why Matthew Koshi sir is very much keen on this program, because it can determine what your next 60 years of your life can be from now. Okay, so we are going to look at what are the different types of abilities that a human being can possess. Now, when you're learning all these abilities, what I want you people to do is analyze yourself. Where do you land? Which ability do you pick it up, right? Which ability you have, which ability you don't have, right? And then I'll tell you how, using the abilities that you have, what you can become, and the abilities that you don't possess, what should we do with that? Should I inherit it or should I not have it? We'll learn it during this class, right? This is the outline of today's program. It's a very simple topic, but very important topic, right? Okay. So the first ability that we are going to see is music, right? This is a common ability that all human beings can have. Common ability. Everyone has this power of listening to music, right? Keen sense of music. Now, everyone loves songs, but what songs we like are different. Everyone loves listening to music, instruments, but what instruments depends on your taste, right? Few people like drums, beats. Few people like strings, that's guitars. Few people like a piano. Few people can like flute, right? A trumpet. It varies. Violin, it goes on, right? But everyone has one common ability towards music. Now, if you are a person who is moved by music, and all you people here, right? We are all church goers. So obviously we participate in a process of singing together in church, right? We sing the lyrics or we sing the traditional songs in the church, right? That is different. What I'm talking to you is an additional ability to recognize, you know, which pitch the song is moving. Few people have this, right? Automatically, if they get a desk, they will start tapping. Have you noticed this? They are not gone to any drums class, music class, nothing, but they have the sense of rhythm. If you give them a writing pad, they'll start beating the drums properly, the rhythm, right? And few people, can sing matching to the tune of the guitar. They are not gone to any classes, but their voice tone can match up to the tone of the guitar. So this is all additional ability few people have. Now, why we are talking about this right now here is, now if you are a kid who's more inclined towards music, when I'm talking more inclined towards music, it's not you've been forced into music. You on your own love music. You love to hear songs. You love to hear instruments. If you are that sort of a person, imagine this ability of creativity is already there in you, right? The ability of creativity, right? So you people should always groom yourself towards something that is more creative, right? It can be towards science, right? I hope you're listening carefully, right? Why I'm linking music right now to your ability is, if you have a sense of music, automatically, right, your ability towards creativity is more, right? So you have to choose your passion, or you have to choose your career, or you have to choose your life, right, process forward into a field which is more creative, right, which is more into making. So this is the first ability that you people should think, right? Now, don't say, I listen to music, so am I a person who has ability towards music? No, I'm talking about an additional power where you can recognize things where you're inclined towards music. This is the first ability. The second ability is, if you are a person who is more inclined towards nature, right? Uh, for example, right, I'll tell you, I have my nephew, right? That fellow is right now around 9 years old. But when this guy was 2.5 years old, I'll tell you what he did, right? When he was 2.5 years old, he could recognize almost 100 types of birds. Can you believe? 100 types of birds at the age of 2.5 years. You'll be stammering to talk also, but he was able to recognize, right, almost 100 types of birds. For example, you show him a picture of all the birds, you have the chart, and you point out at one bird, right? Think about this. At that age, that fellow would have not even learned ABCD properly, right? Forget about words. Letters also, it's very difficult. At that age, he used to exactly say what type of bird it is. He will easily say, this is a kiwi, this is a pigeon, right? This is a vulture, right? Easy. At 2.5 years old, he used to tell those names. And slowly, as he started growing, right, I noticed this, he is more inclined towards nature. He can recognize different types of plants at this age. Right now is around 9 years old. Now we can recognize the different types of plants. He can recognize the different types of dinosaur families, right? And he can even tell the different types of lions, right? We have different lions itself, we have different types of tribes. So you can tell the different types of lions, tiger, right? This is something that, he has an ability or inclination towards nature. They can recognize towards nature. So if there is someone here, especially since we're talking in an ecological concern group. I would know that a lot of people here would have come through, passion towards nature, ecology, but there'll be few people will be going this extra mile. What I spoke right now. Now, what happens here when you're closer to nature? How this is going to help you, right, to check your career prospects later is you are a person who can move somewhere close towards or learning towards medical field, right? Or you are a person who can become a, what you say, a, a person who works with medicines, a chemist, for example, or a person who can cook. You can also become a chef, a very good chef. So when you know your ability, right, when I'm talking about the second ability right now, which is nature, and you are a person who is more inclined towards the world around you, right? When you look at rain, you get mesmerized, and you go in detail, right? How does this density of rainfall changes from different places, right? Going a little bit beyond a common person. When you move like this, right, automatically, right, you are a person who is more inclined towards the nature. Your ability to work with people is more easy, especially when it comes to medical field, right? So this is the second ability which I want to talk about. The third ability that we're going to talk about is movement, right? So there are few people, among this group, right? You will like running, jumping, right? Or you'll never be quiet. Even if you're sitting on the chair, right? You'll be twisting, turning like this, right? Your ability, this is one of the ability that, not many of us notice. So if you are a person who has the ability of movement, flexibility, right? You can jump even from a fifth step down, right? You don't have fear. You try to explore things, right? uh, you are a person who is more, who can move into the field of sports. See, I'm talking about two things here. One is your ability, and later on I'm telling you, if you are this sort of person, where you can choose your career moving ahead, or what courses you can choose, right? Right from 10th standard when you're planning, or how you can improve your ability, and using that ability, how can you determine your passion? That's what this entire session is about, right? So if you are a person who's lot of a person who's completely has the ability of movement, right, you can certainly move into the field of sports, right? If you don't have movement and you think, no, I want to become a cricketer, right, I want to practice, right, I want to become a cricketer, but you're not flexible, you don't have the dedication, possibly you cannot move there. Naturally you have to be a person who has a lot of movement, and by the way, this particular ability needs a lot of practice, right? Nurturing is a part of this ability. If you don't nurture this ability, obviously this ability will not last long, right? So if you are a person who loves movement, and of course this also leads to one more career that you can choose, something to do with choreography, something to do with dancing, right? So these are some things that you need to keep checking on yourself, right? Am I having this ability, or am I imitating this ability? There are two things. Few people just keep dancing and say, I want to get into dancing. No, you need to really like it, right? At the end, I'll tell you, how can you recognize, is this the ability or is it an imitation that I'm trying, right? So we'll learn it at the end. So this is the third ability that we spoke about. The next ability is called as social ability. Naturally in this group, right, I think a lot of people would have done this sermon, right? You'd have gone for echo preaching Sundays. Of course you have done good job, but there are few people who would have gone that extra mile to crack it. Now we call this as interpersonal skills, right? Inter, INTER. It's not intra, It is interpersonal skills, right? Now, what is interpersonal skills? This particular ability is something naturally you can talk with people easily. You don't have hesitation. You're not afraid. You don't have fear, right? For example, right now we had, I think Gurram, right? Uh, Gurram, right? Who started today's session explaining what happened in the last week, right? Sannidhi, right? Sannidhi V. Gurram. Now look at her. She's a person who is very good in interpersonal skills, not being afraid, has the ability to go ahead, even 100 people are there or whoever it is. I'm going to tell what I want to tell, right? These sort of people, right? This sort of ability, this sort of social ability is the one which will take you places if you have to be in the leadership role. If anyone here wants to be a pastor, anyone wants to be a pastor? Of course, Kaushikana will raise the hand. Apart from Kaushikana, anyone else? Okay. So if you need to be a pastor, or if you want to be a manager, if you want to be a person who want to be in the leadership role, understand this. This ability is very important. And one of this ability is nothing but talking to people, communication, right? If you have these skills naturally, right? Or if you have practiced the skills naturally, you know where you can end up? You can end up in the best of places. You can be an amazing businessman. You can start your own business, right? You can be the team leader. You can be the boss, right? So you can be in the most dominating places, right? If you have this particular ability, and this ability is called social ability, right? Ability to talk to others. And this is called interpersonal skills. There's another skill which is called as intrapersonal skills. Have you heard this? Intra, INTRA. The earlier one, what we learned is inter. This is intra. Intrapersonal skills are nothing but you're very good understanding yourself inside, right? The ability to talk to yourself well, understand yourself well, right? And these sort of ability, in case you have this ability where, oh, I'm taking this decision right now. Is it right or wrong? You can analyze it very well before you open your mouth and tell, I'll do this, right? You are very good analyzer, right? If you're this sort of person who's very good within yourself, before you start doing any work, you think 10-15 times, you evaluate it, you're that sort of person, then obviously this ability can be used for you, right, to become a very good speaker, very good speaker, right? So there's a difference, right? Teacher and speaker, I spoke to you earlier 2 months before. Right now, understand this. Now, in case you want to be a very good speaker, this intrapersonal skills is very important. First, you have to talk to yourself. Your ability to understand your own decisions, emotions, all these things are very important. So this is the other ability that we spoke about, the social ability. The next one is called as logical ability. Now, what are logical ability? Trying to understand what is right and what is wrong, right? And how do you have this ability? Reasoning everything. You reason, you ask for a reason, right? You question how, why, what. You blindly don't accept things. You reason it, you want a logic. What is logic? Wanting to know, right, both the things, right and wrong, then deciding which is better, right? So this is the other ability that you people have. For example, can you apply a logic when you go to an ice cream parlor and choose between vanilla and chocolate? Sharon, can we apply a logic? You go to an ice cream parlor, there is banana, there is dark chocolate, there's Belgium chocolate, there's vanilla, there is mango. Now, can you apply logic to choose one?
So I would choose the dark chocolate because it is good for the heart and it is good for the health as well. So I would take that dark chocolate.
Dark chocolate is good for the health. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice information. But is it right information?
Everything should be in a limit, but it's good for. They say that it is good for health.
It is good for health. Okay, fine. Now, is there a logic involved here when you're choosing here? Okay, I'll tell you how it is. How do you choose a particular flavor? Is at that point of time, right? Your taste bud at one given moment, right, will tell you vanilla is good. At one particular moment, you would have felt chocolate is not good. Maybe this is at the age of 2 or 3 when you tasted ice cream for the first time. From there, you decided, no, vanilla is bad. I don't like vanilla. I like only chocolate. Right? But actually, do you think vanilla is bad? You don't like vanilla. Correct? But everyone doesn't like vanilla. Do you think they'll be selling vanilla right now in the ice cream parlor? Right? Now, the logic here, right? That's what you have to understand. When you're reasoning keeping the circumstances in mind, right? You're keeping the circumstances in mind and you question why, what, right? Now, if you are this sort of person who questions logically, right? Who wants reasons, right? If you have this ability, you don't accept things as it comes, right? You want to question, you want to reason, you want to know why, all the stuff. If you're that sort of character or you have that sort of power, ability, then obviously, right, your career choices should be based something related to reasoning. And that's nothing but you can be an engineer, right? You can be a scientist, you can be a computer person, right? You can move into these professions. You can choose your passions accordingly, right? The next ability is linguistic. What is linguistic? Language, right? Language. Few people have this ability to understand languages easily. Have you noticed this? They can learn language very easily, right? Many of you are here who can learn the language quite easily, right? Listening to your friends. For example, your friend talks Hindi, but you don't talk Hindi at home. But your friend is talking Hindi at home, but she speaks talking to you in the school in Hindi. You grab that language, even though it's not taught in your school. Example, right? So if you have the ability to learn new languages, right? I told you last week, you can learn 365 words in a year. Do you remember?
Yes, sir.
Forgot or you remember?
Remember, sir.
How many of you are learning a other language? I also gave an assignment also. People from Andhra should do this. People from Tamil Nadu should do this. You remember?
Yes, sir.
Are you following it? Only Akhil is nodding his head. Others, sir, when did you say? The rain fell on my head. I forgot everything. Right? Okay. So kindly follow, right? Whatever we are saying, there's a reason for me to tell it. Right. So there are few people who have the ability to learn new languages. Not forcing yourself to learn, but naturally, right? Or you have that passion, interest to learn languages. If you are that sort of person, right, then there is amazing roles for you, right? You can be an amazing tutor, right? Translator. You can move into these sort of professions, right? So if you have this flair towards language, you like learning languages, you're that sort of person, right? Then there is something that you can move into these sort of roles. This is something that is a new ability that has picked up in the last 10 years. Of course, you people are more better than most of us in this group, right? digital ability, right? What is digital ability? Able to handle mobile phones. You people would have seen, right? In your house, there's a kid, 2.5 years. She knows where is the YouTube icon. She knows where is the speaker. She knows where is the gallery. She knows where is the mobile. Now tell me, did you teach her? Right? For example, you people know right now on the Zoom, right? How to break into sessions, how to share slides. Imagine you people have adapted yourself to technology, digital world so easily. Not all of us are so, right? But there are few people in this group who are digitally very sound, right? Technically, you're very anxious to know how it works, right? You open the mobile phone and you open the SIM slot and you're checking how the SIM is working. I put this card inside, suddenly the mobile starts working. How is it happening? Right? You have this curiosity, right? Passion. No one has told you, but you yourself are doing it. You sit inside the car and you start, looking at your father driving the car and you think, how is this car? When dad switches on the light, left indicator, right indicator, the indicator starts blinking. How is it happening? Right? You start reasoning all those things. Digitally, you try most of the things, and especially in this group, lot of people are digitally able, right? You have the ability to work digitally, but few people will be additional interest towards digital. You guys can pursue your careers as a programmer, software engineers, right? You can become an architect. I'm talking about computer architect, right? You can move in this phase, right? Only if you're digitally uh, able, or you have that ability or interest towards digital stuff, right? The next one is visual. Now this is also another ability that has picked up recently. Now what is visual, right? When you're saying visual, you know what you're seeing. A lot of people, right, right now how to place the camera, how to sit in front of the laptop so that I look very beautiful in the camera on the other side, on the Zoom, right? You know which angle the lighting has to be kept, right? You're very accurate. You have that additional ability. Now what is this visual ability is, you love to present everything beautiful, whether it's writing, right? Or whether you're explaining anything on the board. Akshita, can you put on mute? Okay. So if you have that ability to make everything visually great. Yeah, Akshita, you have any question? Okay. Yes, Akshita, any question? Okay, you can chat in the box and let me know if you have any question. Okay, put yourself on mute right now. Yeah. All right, this is another ability that in case you possess, right, you need to move into the field of visual communications, right? That's where you'll be making big, right? So that's another ability. Now the last ability is something that we are doing here, right? It's teaching. Now you are a person who has the ability to teach your friends, right? So you have the ability. Okay. Okay, Akshita. I think if you have any questions, I think sir will reach you out. Okay. All right. So you have the ability to talk with people. Okay. You can teach people very well. A lot of people would have told you at most of the times, right? Hey, you know what? If you teach, I'm learning it better. Right, done. So if you have the ability to teach, right? People tell, you're a very good teacher, right? If you're teaching, I can learn very well, right? If you explain, I can understand, right? And if there is any issue or any concern, right? If you talk, people listen to you. If you're this sort of person, then obviously you can look into the field of teaching, right? You can be a teacher at any capacity. Now, these are the 10 abilities that any human being will possess. And within this 10 ability, we find out where we are good in and we try to move towards that passion, right? Now, why we are talking about all these things right now, why the ability is important to understand yourself is, right? For a simple stuff is to discover your ability, right? Now, let me ask you a question, right? Can you relate these four pictures? Anyone can relate these four pictures. Try
Sir,
to
the
relate.
first one is like schooling, sir.
Yes.
Second one is like office, then promotion and the old age.
All right. Okay. Very nice. Thank you. May I get your name, please?
Sir, Andrew, sir.
Andrew. Fine, Andrew. So the first one is most of the people are sitting on this bench right now in your schools. True? Right?
Yes.
Yes, most of us are using this bench in the school. Can you choose that bench? Can you tell in a school, I don't want this bench, change the bench. I want a different bench. Can you tell that? No, right?
Yes, sir.
You can't, right? You cannot choose that bench in the school, right? You cannot say, I want what sofa I have at home. I'll bring it to school. I'll sit on that sofa. I'll listen to you in the class. Can we tell? No, we can't.
No.
The second one is something that they give in the office once you get a job. After your schooling, your college, you join a job. This chair, they give it in a school. Give it in your office. Can you again choose your chair in the office? Not at all. Right? You cannot choose. The first two is something that we cannot choose. The last two is something that we can choose. After your promotion, right? They provide you this sort of chair. You can say, no, I want to go back. I want the other chair. I can sit on this chair. You can determine that. The last chair is after retirement, right? No one can dictate which chair you have to sit. You can choose, right? This is what the chair is. Now look at this. Whether you're comfortable on the bench in the school or not, you need to sit on it. You've been made to sit on it. You like it or not, right? That's what the system has done. You like it or not, you have to sit on that bench. No, ma'am, I cannot sit for a long time. It's okay, but you have to sit. All the other students are sitting. In the office, there can be some consideration, right? But again, you like it or not, they have made you to sit on the chair. Maybe unless and until you have any medical stuff, if not, they will never change the chair. They say all the other people in the office are sitting on the chair. What is your problem? Did you understand? Now, why I'm relating this year to the adaptive ability year is, understand this, most of us, when we're sitting in the school for 20, 13 to 15 years, we are adapted to one position or one thing that the system has made us to sit. And we think that is what is our ability. Somebody would have told you, this is what you are, and you fix to that, right? Now, you have to come out of it right now. Since you're attending these sessions, and since you're learning something, what you children should do, especially people in the high school and college, all these 10 skills you have to think about yourself once. Where is my ability, right? Where is my, few people will think, I have all the 10 ability. That's not true. Okay, that's not true. There is one or two abilities that a person can be actually inclined to, that you only should be able to learn or know. That I cannot tell you, right? You need to check where in this 10 ability your ability is more prominent, right? How to understand it? In one of the ability, you'll be spending more time. Where you invest your time, that is what you become. So check that where you invest your ability, and automatically, right, that ability will be making progress towards as a passion, and that passion at one point of time will become a career. Simple as that, right? So today's session is only about all about understanding yourself, right? Understanding your ability, right? Your power, your additional skills, right? Where you're good at. So you have a lot of time, people. So choose your ability and start nurturing it. Don't make somebody else to tell this is your ability and nurture it. Few times it might be right, few times it might not be. The best judge is you people, right? So you have to start doing this by yourself. So this is what the gist of today's session is, right? So understanding yourself through your ability, right? So any questions, Tilia? Any questions? Any question? Okay, I'll give you a quick 5 minutes. Okay, just recollect where your ability is better. Just sit for 2 to 3 minutes, think about all these 10 abilities and find out where your actual ability is. You don't need to tell any one of us, just write down. All right, so hopefully you would have found out, which one of the abilities that you have more inclination towards, right? There's no need for you to let me know, but once you found your abilities out of 10, right, maybe you'd have decided based on the time that you spend on that ability or your interest towards that ability, right? You never get bored, working on that ability. That's one of the way that you can find out whether it's your ability or not. The third thing how we'd have found out it's your ability is the success ratio, right? Possibly whenever you're doing or whenever there's a task which involves that particular ability, you perform really well. So if that is the way you have judged, okay, I think this is my ability, that can be true in one sense, but it's okay. The other way is a lot of people have told you you're good in this, you're good in this. You might not know it, but people have told you, you're right, you're good, you have this ability, right? You have this very good ability. So that is another way to know that, okay, this is the power or skill that I have. So maybe however you have come across, to find out what your ability is, you would have written around two or three, possibly, right? Those are the abilities. Now work on it. How to work on it? Very simple. Pick up a task which involves that ability. Work on the task each day for at least 30 minutes. Now this is an assignment which I'm going to give you, and possibly see, one of the things is we can give you practice assignments, but unless and until you don't practice, you can't expect miracle, right? Can you make biryani without lighting the gas stove? Tell me, without the fire and the gas, can you do biryani? Think about this. You put the container, you put the chicken, you put rice, you put water, you put all the ingredients inside the vessel, but you're not lit the gas. Will the biryani be ready? Huh? Can it be ready? No.
No,
That's
sir.
what. No, that's what is that's what is happening now. In the vessel, we are putting all the skills what you need. Now you are the people who have to light the gas. Now you don't light the glass, and you tell biryani is not there, biryani is not happening, biryani is not happening. Now when will the biryani happen? Only when you lit the gas. That I can't do it in your kitchen, you only should do it, correct? Yes. So whatever I'm going to tell you, you have to put it into practice. If not, you can't have a feast. Understand this, right? So pick up that particular task, any task that involves that ability. Practice it 30 minutes a day. It's by far the only option that you can have to nurture your skill, right? Understand this. Now It's raining, right? I'll tell you an example. It's raining, but I want to go to gym, right? Now the gym is in the other road opposite to my house. Now I have to take my bike, go to the other side, other road. It's hardly around 2 minutes, but it was raining. I have a class also at 6:30. So I have to come back home, take shower, be ready for the class. I'll tell you how it happens, right? How we build that dedication, or how you build that time for it. All I have to do is first change my dress to a gym dress. Even though I'm not interested, the rain is telling me sleep, sit at home, right? My eyes is telling you can't go to the gym, it's raining. All it required for me was put the gym dress, right? Wear the raincoat, take the bike key and go out. That's all. After that, rest, it happened. That first step is little bit difficult. When you're taking that first step, lot of temptations will tell you, no, no, stop, stop, stop. But you have to move. Once you exceed that first step, right, things will fall into place. Understand, right? So 30 minutes a day, right? Pick up a task which involves the ability that you've chosen and practice it for 30 minutes, right? A day. That you have to do it each day, right? The second thing is, right, show your progress. You only should write down. I don't know, right, whether you have a journal at home, a book at home, a separate book to maintain, your goals, your targets and everything, whatever you want to achieve. Do you write it? I do not know, but have a practice of writing it in a book. How you have improved, where you have to improve, you only should write. No one else will write it, right? So you have to do it. Second thing, right, you have to make a note of your progress in that task. Each week you have to monitor, okay, this week I have done this task for so many times. For example, I'll tell you an example. You wanted, your ability is music, right? Now you wanted to pursue that ability furthermore. What do? Right, you pick up a guitar. That's the first step, right? 30 minutes you start practicing one chord. You learn one chord and you keep practicing for it for 30 minutes a day, 7 days. Now the question is, have you learned that chord after 7 days properly? Have you learned it? That is the way that you look at your progress. Now third thing is, right, what you have to do, right, once your practice, once you're monitoring your results, the third thing is move to the next level, or put up a task, put up a goal which is higher than the previous task. Now 30 minutes was your practice time. Now we have to increase it to 1 hour. That's how you put a target for yourself. When you put that 1 hour, now we are going to learn. You have been learning one chord a week. Now we are going to push it for 3 chords. You're going to learn 3 chords a week. So you have to increase your target and push your abilities forward. If you restrict your abilities to one particular dimension or one particular measurement, you'll never grow. Your abilities has to be having a target which is more each time. Only then your ability will change. And whenever you fix a task, fix realistic goals. Okay, don't put a target which is out of box. You should not think in 1 month I'm going to play all the available chords in the world, right? We can't do. Put a realistic goal. This is one of the example which I gave you. If you have any other abilities, pick up a task which is according to that ability, start improvising. All right. So I think we're done for the day with my session. So possibly, I think if you have any questions, we can talk about it. Quick 2 minutes.